And we're back with Theros Chaos, the mythic odyssey of Theros and the adventures under the sea as you are in Olanton, the lost city beneath the waves. And while you've been here for at least a session, uh, you've been interacting with some interesting individuals. What do you remember from the previous week? Well, first of all, you all leveled up to level 8, so everyone's that little bit stronger. And uh, I think Sogeg's now at 100 health, which is
Oh my god.
ridiculous. And once you'd finished leveling yourselves up, you found yourselves in the Olantin markets, where there were 5 different shops that you could investigate. There was the Quick Shark Armory, What Washes Up, the Ocean's Bounty, the Streams of Steam Spa, and a mysterious one written in Abyssal that you couldn't quite understand.
We also found out what it said.
And then forgot.
After a very good deal bartering with the shopkeep, she's working on it. She traded a ring for him climbing in her shirt to go to land,
Yeah,
which, made sense at the time.
Skuttz went into What Washes Up where they met Rullet, the married, who was utterly and utterly obsessed with the surface, was collecting all sorts of, for want of a better term, junk, and sort of memorializing it, just sort of dreaming of a day that they'd actually get to see the surface. And Skuttz never missing a beat or an opportunity to steal someone. Immediately gave them a chance to go inside the bag that led to the surface in exchange for something. He gave you a ring of warmth to help you deal with the freezing cold of being underwater, and stepped into the bag, which leads to Granny's location. So we'll have to find out what happens to poor Rullet, the married. Anyone that knows what a married actually is would also be a bit worried. But not only did you send him away, immediately afterwards, Zholk went in and ransacked his place, picking up a handful of shells, which is Olantin currency, as well as a shiny blue sapphire that seemed to have bubbles stuck inside it. Did you investigate anywhere else? Did you
I
look
screamed
into
at a jellyfish.
So Soken bought some stuff from the armory, sorted his own ability to survive underwater, as well as getting a javelin of lightning and getting ripped off because he sold the Cetessan glass armor for nowhere near as much as it was worth. You grabbed a dead water scorpion that would later be used for your hero's feast. And yes, Zholk and Nadryn, you went into the mysterious abyssal shop and saw a almost like empty room, just sort of where the colour was had seeped out of it, and a jellyfish person on one end of the room that turned its faceless head towards you and screamed into your mind, which caused you to need to make several saving throws, completely draining you of your spell slots, causing deafness, causing paralysis, and teaching you spells you wouldn't otherwise be able to learn. And after some shenanigans trying to save Zholk from being screamed into, you all realised that, yes, if you go and face down this pale screamer, this spooky jellyfish man, he will unlock some of your magical potential if you can survive the onslaught of them screaming into your brain. To which you all did. A few of you gaining. I think everybody gained at least one new spell. Or at least that was here that gained one new spell. With a maximum, I think, of 3. A lot of which I don't think you can properly cast normally, but there may be other ways to access this new magical potential that you have. And because of the nature of everybody going in and having their minds screamed by a giant jellyfish, everyone was deaf. So you sat and had a hero's feast that somehow brought your hearing back.
I'm not sure how food got our hearing back, but you know.
The hearty magical properties of a good meal. And I think that's where we pick up today. We are missing a Zholk, but we have Bennett back. So you are still at the markets. If there's anything else you'd want to investigate, I think. Oh, one other thing we missed was Zholk. You managed to tinker with the blue sapphire, which you learned was a blue sapphire elemental gem. It held a water elemental trapped inside it. And you managed to convert it into an apparatus to help you survive underwater. Yeah, so that's where we pick up, sir. The remaining shops are the Quick Shock Armory, which is your arms and weapons. You've got the Ocean's Bounty, which is mostly food and supplies. The Streams of Steam Spa, which is, well, you've not really investigated that one all that much, but it seems to be a lot more potions and ointments, that kind of thing, treatments. And then there is Secrets and Spells, which was what the Abyssal name was, where the Pale Screamer can try and scream some more spells into you. So, anyone feeling like investigating further? Otherwise, there is the rest of Olantin to go and poke around. You have only just arrived.
Skuttz would like to duck into the spa before they leave.
Okay.
Is that this one up top?
Yes, that's that one, yeah.
Okay. She'll wander on in.
So you head in, and the temperature immediately rises. As soon as you pass through, it almost feels like you've entered or swam into a jacuzzi that fills the entire room. Of the entire place is just filled with this softly bubbling water. And there is a Shahugan, sort of just lounging about, enjoying the bubbles. That seems quite just relaxed enough, not really paying that much attention. Also, I must remember that you pulled a mollusk from the bag, and that is still crawling all over your body.
Did you say that there were potions around in here? Or is that
so-
elsewhere?
So Zholk has investigated it last week, and Singh, the Shahugan, did try to sell him some ointments to help deal with the pressure, but due to the nature of consumables within Theros, he didn't trust it.
Okay. She'll reach her hand out towards him to try to shake his hand. Hello there.
He turns and meets your outstretched outstretched hand. Well, and how are you doing? Welcome to the Streams of Steam. Couldn't see you walk in. I was just enjoying life.
This seems like a very relaxing and rejuvenating spot. Do you I keep getting into scrapes. Do you have anything I could use to heal myself?
Oh, this place is exceptionally rejuvenating. You wouldn't believe how old I actually am. But all this beautiful bubbling salt water just takes the wrinkles right away. As for something to...
Do you have anything portable, though?
Well, we've got several standard kind of supplies, ways to heal the body, but not the spirit. Depends on what you're kind of looking for.
Well, me and my friends get pretty banged up sometimes. Especially my little rat friend. He's real adventurous. And I don't want my friends to get hurt. And she's just gonna like reach her arm out with the snail crawling on it and just be like, I have a shell to trade.
Do you quite know what creature lives within that there shell?
The best kind. He makes all this goo as she's like dripping in the bioluminescent blue snail goo as he's been crawling all over
her. Make an insight check, Skuttz.
I love how I'm pretending to not see the grenade on her. Insight. Text is so small.
You notice him sort of light up a bit at the idea of taking this shelled creature off you. Would be my delight to take that shelled creature from you. In fact, I've got some simple homemade potions of greater healing that might help.
How many? Because this snail's almost as cool as my rooster, so he's worth a lot.
How does 4 sound?
She tries to count on her fingers. Do you have 5?
Oh, you drive a hard bargain, but I am utterly mesmerized by that little creature. I'll trade for 5 greater potions of greater healing.
That's 1 for me and each of my friends. As she happily like plops the snail into his hand.
He takes the snail and very, very delicately puts it in a small wooden container, being very, very delicate and making no sudden movements whatsoever before gathering up 5 vials of that familiar reddish liquid of potions of greater healing.
Thanks, man. Hey, I have one request. His name is Charlie, and on Tuesdays, you just have to sing to him. And she just, like, looks at him real sternly as she walks out of the shop.
It will be my honor.
Right. She's gonna go show the party. Hello, guys! She's gonna, like, juggle them slightly as they almost, like, fall. Oh, oh. And she'll hand one to Nadryn and one to Bennett. Here you go, I got you guys a present.
So I will show to everyone that's the potion of greater healing. So when you drink it, it's 4d4 plus 4 hit points.
Everyone gets one, but Sogag, this is for Mr. Burbles. And she'll put the other one in her pocket. He's not here right now, so.
I think Mr. Burbles is under your cauldron.
Yeah, he is. He doesn't like the city. It's crowded. There's lots of noise.
He's also underwater, and he's a fire dog.
All right. I'm gonna add this to my inventory if anybody else wants to do anything.
So, potions acquired. So anything else you'd like to poke around?
Resisting the urge to go back to the jellyfish.
I was about to say, does anyone want to give the jellyfish another attempt? You're welcome to try.
If it's not con, I might actually succeed this time.
Well, see, are you feeling lucky, Zholk?
When am I not?
Well, it's entirely up to you.
Right. Come on, Bennett, let me show you something cool. Now just be prepared to drag me if I go deaf.
So, are you both going in at the same time?
Up to Bennett.
Stand near the door, but yeah.
Okay. So, this darkened room, where almost the colour is being leached from it, and in the centre is this strange humanoid jellyfish. And it raises its featureless face up and turns towards Bennett.
Oh no.
As Bennett, you hear this unholy screeching inside your mind. I'm not going to do it today because my throat hurts. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw, please. Okay. You are deafened. This thing screams into your brain. Anyone else want to do anything? Zholk, you probably would have noticed this thing not paying much attention to you and is entirely focused on Bennett.
Do you want to continue trying, Bennett?
Sorry, I'm not fully grasping what it is I'm trying to do.
Right, so far we understand that if you fail the check twice, you're fine. The grey area is that third. We don't know.
No, I failed 3.
No, you failed
Oh.
2. You didn't fail 3.
I went deaf.
Yep.
I went deaf. I lost all my spell slots.
That's part of the same first fail.
Ah, right, okay.
But I know Bennett doesn't have spell slots, which is why I've not asked him to make an Arcana check.
Right.
No one's found out what happens after the third fail.
Yeah.
Yet.
Gain spells.
You do gain spells. It depends if you want to risk learning spells you may not entirely be able to cast.
No, I'm thinking that that'll probably be counterproductive if I'm not going to be able to carry on with that.
Managed to break contact with this screamer. You are still deaf, but it is you no longer hear it in your mind.
Does it block out the other voices in my head, though?
Make a wisdom saving throw. Yes, it does block out the other voices in your head.
Oh, thank God.
that brief moment of silence.
Jellyfish round 2.
The pale screamer turns its attention to you as you sit alone in the room with it. And that same familiar screeching falls into your mind. I'm going to start with a Constitution saving throw.
Supposed to be good at these.
Okay, you are now deafened.
Cool.
Would you like to continue listening to it scream into your brain?
So long as someone's ready to grab me where I'm paralyzed, I'm good.
Well, no one's watching you, so...
I noticed.
Okay.
I'll scoot to the door.
The
Well,
next
I still
one
can
will
move.
also be a Constitution saving throw.
Oh no. Okay.
Okay. Let me a quick go on. Why would I do this to myself? Okay, yeah, you can have that one. You feel new magic unlocking within yourself. You won't find out what it is until you've finished the tests. Would you like to continue to keep screeching at you?
Man, I'm kind of on the warpath to find out what that third fail is.
Yeah, what's the worst that could happen? Curiosity killed the rat, so...
Always does.
Okay. This be a wisdom saving throw, please. Okay,
Oh.
you are now paralyzed.
Alright, my life is in over people's hands now.
Oh. Would you like for it to continue screaming into your brain? Would anyone want to try and save Zholk?
I think I'm done.
Okay.
Keep going.
No.
Let's keep going.
Oh God.
A strength saving throw, Zholk, please.
Bruh.
Okay. Fantastic. I need to just quickly look something up.
Oh no.
This might be a familiar feeling to you, Zholk. As you just suddenly feel your concept of yourself, your concept of understanding the world shatter. As your intelligence and charisma score are set to 1. You cannot cast spells, activate magic items, understand language, or communicate in any intelligible way, but you can identify your friends, follow them, and even protect them. You have been feeble-minded.
Ah.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like to continue having this thing scream at you?
No. I think we're done here.
Would anyone want to rescue Zholk?
Skuttz will walk by to go towards Bennett and Nadryn over there, and as she walks by, she'll see Zholk, and
Froth coming out of his mouth, just eyes pointing in different directions. He's no idea where he is anymore.
oh man, she's gonna pick him up. You guys, I think Zholk broke again. As she's going to adjust him like around and hold him up like she's trying to get reception.
Are you pulling him out of the Pale Screamer's shop?
Yeah, that's what worked last time.
Okay,
It was
yeah,
particularly over here, so I'll drag
Yeah,
him
you
over there with me.
break connection, the Screamer's connection with him.
It worked over here last time, as she like sets him down firmly on the ground. She'll just turn around and look at Nadryn like, I already did what I knew how to do.
Looking at him, does he look exactly like he did last time this happened?
Give me a medicine check.
Okay. Medicine. Oh, this is not good. This is not great. Yes.
Yes, he looks identical. In fact, he actually looks a little bit healthier, almost like just happier. You notice he's not moving, although bubbles are still coming out of his mouth. He's still clearly somehow breathing. But just his body seems to be just stock stiff. His eyes just sort of lolling about in his head.
I don't know. I mean, he looks pretty happy to me. This is a problem, though.
Does anyone else want to go into the Pale Screamer room? Now that you fucked around and found out.
Was this the third time I've been feeble-minded?
I think, yeah, this is either number 2 or 3.
I think it's 2.
Was the first time the river of sticks?
Yes. I know that was a definite one. I don't know if you've been feeble-minded again since then.
No, I haven't.
I don't think so. That was quite a while ago now, actually.
Yeah.
Who would have thought having some strange abyssal jellyfish man scream into your brain and pull magic out might affect your intelligence somehow?
I kind of saw it coming.
Yeah, what else would have happened?
Yeah. At least 6 succeeded once.
Yeah. You've learnt Tasha's hideous laughter as well.
Hey!
Yeah,
That's such a great spell.
Yeah, see why I was like, oh god, okay.
It is honestly one of my favourite spells.
It is a really fun spell. No? Does anyone else want to risk those extra spells? You at least now know what will happen if you fail the third one, so you can try and plan your get out beforehand.
Okay.
If
everybody. Oh god. Yeah, no, that makes sense for you at least.
You also haven't sent any of the companions in. You've not sent Neil or Mr. Burbles in to see if they can learn spells.
Neil is too precious for this.
Get him in there.
Okay.
I am honestly surprised Pogek hadn't been thrown in there last week.
Oh,
I was betting on it.
Yeah, I was expecting you to. If I get paralyzed, pull me out, please.
okay. Skuttz will come over and like she'll pull on your skirt gently. So like when you stop pulling against her and when you stop resisting, she'll pull you back out when she can tell you're no longer able to fight.
Yeah, when you've stopped moving, it's just a way to
Yeah.
tell. Yeah.
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 Like that's how she'll gauge.
Okay, Nadryn, you step into this desaturated room. The scream rises from its seating and turning its featureless face towards you. And that same shattering scream fills your mind. Need a Constitution saving throw. Also, Zholk, you wouldn't be able to move and sit because you're paralyzed.
Forgot about that.
Okay, Nadryn,
Oh boy.
you are deafened. Would you like to continue?
Yes.
Okay. It is strength saving throw.
Oh god. Why is it always my worst?
You are paralyzed. Would you like to continue? Yeah, this is what happened last time. You failed the first two and then got 3 in a row.
Yeah. What? How did we get Zolk out of his feeble mind last time?
I believe it was divine intervention.
Oh god.
You'd
Get
need
me out.
the greater
Please.
restoration spell.
Yeah, Skuttz will feel you go kind of lax, so she'll tug you out of the room.
That was a waste.
Well, you're now deafened again, but you're no longer paralyzed. You only stay paralyzed if you failed all 3.
I made no progress.
You can always go in
Yeah.
for another attempt.
Don't tempt me.
I could hear it. I could hear it in your silence that you were like, I need to go back. I need more spells.
I
You
want
never know.
more.
You never know. It might succeed. Maybe you just need a long rest and to come back here when you're next bouncing around Orlantin. So that just because you leave today doesn't mean that the market suddenly disappears.
True. I can't hear.
Yeah, you are deafened.
I'm just gonna pat Neil on the head. And
So-
just look over at Zolk.
So Nadryn and Bennett are deafened. Zholk is deafened, paralysed, and feeble-minded. I wonder if you've got any more of those heroes feasts.
Skuttz pulls out her steamed starfish and tries to hand Nadryn half.
It's food. I don't think it's magical food.
I don't know. Food worked last time. Oh man, Skuttz is gonna just like remembering the last time he was like this. She'll make a little rope harness and stick Zolk in the front like a little baby carrier.
Oh, you're gonna use the Neil carrier again.
Yes, the patented eel carrier. It's even still a little bit slimy. She'll just pat him on the head. There you go, pal.
Look, you can recognise friend from foe, so you do know that your friends are there.
That's good.
You just can't communicate. Yeah. You can't cast spells, activate magic items, understand language, or communicate in any intelligible way, but you can, however, identify your friends, follow them, and even protect them.
So I can bonk.
You can bonk.
Cool.
When you're not
When you're not
Paralysed.
paralysed.
Yeah.
That's the only minor downside.
So, with Zholk strapped into his baby harness, would you like to do anything else?
Mr. Burbles is looking, but Skuttz is gonna shove him out. I'm good to go adventuring. Maybe we can find Zolk's brain somewhere. I think it fell out.
So, those locations you can head off to. So you've got, this is the market. There is the residential area where Nadryn, you would know, you would be able to find shelter there, people that you know. There is a paddock or a branch for sort of where a lot of the larger underwater creatures are kept and raised for transport around the seas of Theros. There's the palace itself, which Nadryn, you would probably need to go to at some point to report back that you have completed your task to go and try and find the stolen treasure and the adventures that you've had.
okay.
And there is also the temple to Thassa underwater as well.
Well,
Those are the-
I don't think I can really head there right now, considering I can't
Yes.
hear. What do you guys want to do?
I'm happy doing whatever. I mean, if I'm being true to the character, I didn't hear that. But
Yeah.
yeah, and it's happy to go along with whatever.
Well, I can't hear, so I'm not even able to say
We're just
any
basically
of
standing here,
that.
just going, what? What?
We're just like,
What?
Thumbs up
we're all
or around.
deaf here,
Yeah.
except
Say
for
that again? What?
Skuttz.
Hey, everybody, come on, let's go. She's just like standing there, wondering why everyone's just standing around.
I mean, by point of elimination, the only person able to lead is Skuttz.
Yeah.
She's the follower. She's just gonna chill with everybody. All right, let's see. So it was the marketplace, the village area.
There was
My brain.
a ranch, or sort of basically a place where larger sea creatures are raised for transport around the seas. The palace
I wanna go-
itself, and then the temple to Thassa.
Okay, yeah, I definitely want to go see the large creatures then. Because I feel like her goal right now is to figure out where to find her ocean auntie at her quest to find the sister of Granny. So yeah, I feel like someone who's dealing with abyssal monsters would maybe know where where there might be a sea hag. Yeah, sounds like
Is-
sound logic to me.
Is that where you want to go while the rest of the party's deaf and some more so?
Yeah. Hey, Mr. Burbles, get out of the cauldron. And I'm gonna like put. I can fit.
Two
Oh no, I
medium-sized
have to.
creatures.
So I'm gonna tie Zolk to Mr. Burbles. No, I don't know. How can we get everybody? Because I have to drive the hag vehicle.
Nadryn and Bennett can't
We can
hear, but they
move.
can move.
They can follow. Yeah. So I guess we're just gonna.
You'll just have to
Mr.
point.
Burbles just gonna have to follow me. I'll make the cauldron small. The cauldron can go away for now. And then Skuttz is just gonna start wandering off towards the. Would she even know where that's at?
It would be hard to miss, just
That's
because of the
perfect.
amount of large creatures there.
Like figuring out where the airport is when you can see where all the airplanes are landing.
Pretty much.
All right. Come on, guys. She's gonna wave in a very large gesture as she's walking off.
Around.
So
Okay.
This is gonna be.
So, you swim off towards the outer edge of the city, or the settlement of Neolantin, where there is a lot fewer buildings. It seems like this almost cliff edge with a few sort of dotted, almost islands, raised with thick seagrass, thick sort of sea vegetation where a lot of animals are feeding. Very clearly this open space leading into this just shelf into the deeper parts of the oceans of Theros. As for what you see immediately as you arrive, is again one of these heavily vegetated outcroppings with a handful of hippocamps grazing away, while a much more serpentine creature sort of swims around and through them, sort of just in the way that you would recognise, say, a sheepdog sort of keeping an eye on its flock, as well as a merfolk, so basically a triton with a fishtail, also trying to oversee things. If I can get a picture of serpent. There we go. Up in chat.
Oh, that's cool.
All these sort of ribbons along this serpentine form, sort of swimming quite majestically through these hippocamps. You can make a nature check if you want to try and identify what creature it is. And that's anybody can do that.
I would like to, and another natural one. Never mind.
Okay.
Surprisingly enough, Nadryn, I think you're just more distracted by your hearing loss, and trying to swim while deaf has got to be quite an uncomfortable feeling.
Imagine swimming here as well as what's already.
Yeah. Whereas Skuttz, you'd have probably seen equivalents in Granny's lair, although not this specific creature. And Bennett, you've probably heard stories of sea dragons. This is a young sea dragon. Similar to the types of dragons you would find in the other elements and other places and in other colours and metallics and all that kind of thing. These seem to be much more adapted to deep sea life. And being dragons, they are relatively intelligent. They're not as intelligent as your traditional Dungeons and Dragons dragon, but they make for good companions in this sense. It takes a lot to train one.
Skuttz is just like wide-eyed. Like, oh.
It is very pretty.
Look, you...
It would make a nice gift. If you guys zoom out on the map, you will see the rest of the ranch. As I don't think I put dynamic lighting on just because I knew I'd be putting a lot of tokens on the map. Where you can see the same Rorqual that you arrived on, just sort of floating about. Numerous hulking crabs just sort of walking across the seabed. A few other hippocamps, and I can't remember what the name of this creature is. A cetus, a type of giant shark. Much more intelligent. Well,
Instantly respect that shark.
this shark could probably beat you in a game of chess.
Not his chess skills, it's his murder skills.
That is fair. You have seen sharks before, and they have some mean bites. Although much more simplistic and easily trained compared to dolphins and whales and similar within Theros. It's why you actually see a lot of merfolk training different types of sharks for different parts of life. So you arrive at this strange sort of, as I say, it's the closest word I can think for it is a ranch. It's a place where these animals are raised so that they can be used in whatever roles they're needed for in future. It's essentially where they live.
Wow, you guys, this is all so cool. And she like turns around and she like just keeps trying to talk to them. Like, can you even hear me? And then I'd like to try something.
Okay.
She's gonna
This
see
works well.
if her good old buddy. And no, this one can't go badly. It's okay. She's gonna see if her good old buddy Mahadi got her gift as she tries to see if she can use prestidigitation to maybe like create subtitles and see if they could read what she's trying to say.
Waiting for prestidigitation.
It might be.
No, minor illusion does that.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I might be confusing it with one of the other artificer spells from when I played Knack. No.
You can make a colour, small mark or symbol appear on an object on a surface for an hour is probably the closest. Then again, you can make a non-magical trinket or illusory image that can fit into your hand that lasts until the end of your next turn. If the size of the text is no bigger than the palm of your hand, then yeah, I'll allow it.
Okay, she will just try to
You do little
put some
emotes
basic
coming out of your
words,
hands.
yeah. Shit.
But yes, you can cast prestidigitation. You have the ability back. Mahadi got his payment and your debt is covered.
She just gets like extremely excited. Does a little dance. I got my chocolate jerky back.
now.
Yeah. Actually, I'm gonna pull out that starfish. I'm gonna make it taste like chocolate, and I'm gonna snack on it while we're looking at the
Okay.
animals.
You did so well having the August rooster and not making a cock joke, and now you've made a chocolate starfish. Come on.
No, that was what?
Huh.
Oh.
I didn't even cross my mind.
Me neither.
It was the moment she said, I'm going to make it taste like, I thought, oh, come on. Although, what's that say about me?
Oh no. On second thought, maybe she's not hungry, right? Shoot. I don't know how are we going to have an interaction with anybody if Nadryn can't? Those potions of greater restoration, or is that what it is?
No, the
A potion
potions of greater healing.
Greater healing.
They just restore
Potion
hit
of
points.
greater restoration is what we need to like actually.
That's what you would have needed,
Okay.
yes.
So we're screwed.
If only there was a shop that sold potions.
Oh yeah. That we just walked away from, didn't we?
It's fine.
We're doing well today.
All right. Do you guys want to try to go back and find a potion or something to help, or do you guys just want to plow on ahead with this?
I mean, there's not much we can really do if we're deaf, but don't really know if there's much we can do anyway. Like, will we be useful deaf or not deaf?
I'd
just
imagine you'd be
translate
more
with emotes.
useful not deaf.
Oh man, you guys should have said something sooner. I guess we should probably go back to see if we can get something for this. You guys.
I can give a DM suggestion if you would like a suggestion on what you need to do or what you want to do. Otherwise, you can head back to the shop, yeah.
I mean, that's up to everybody else. I was gonna just keep on plowing ahead forward, but I thought about.
See, I thought that we could go to the temple and see if we can get fixed. If we want to try and do that.
It's an option.
That sounds yeah. Just point.
Unless, like I said, I won't give you my thoughts on the matter unless you ask for them. But there are plenty of solutions to these problems.
You're Thassa's champion. I bet she'll help us fix this. And she like pats Nadryn on the back, and I guess we should maybe. Do you want to try heading for the temple? I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Head for the temple.
Let's go to the temple.
temple. Okay, so you swim off towards this huge building with a sort of almost like a bubble around its doorway that as you pass through, you realise the inside is filled with air. This is a place you can actually breathe normally. It's not, well, it is flooded. It is, you'll still be walking through at the least ankle deep water, and there are much deeper pools further within. This is somewhere where if you need to breathe and talk, you can do so. As you push inside this great marble temple in the dead centre of Olantin.
All right, let's see if we can find somebody to help. She'll try to urge Nadryn and everyone to follow with her as she'll walk forward, and just I guess bellow jovially, "Hello!"
Okay. As you look into the central room of the temple, you see a handful of guards in the form of the Merrow and a few Tritons standing around the side. But on top of the central platform seems to be two priestesses of Thassa to Shahurgan, praising a uncomfortably handsome human, which is quite odd to find in this deep in the ocean. I don't think I've got a better version of the artwork, so I will just do. They seem to be in some kind of prayer, some kind of ritual.
Skuttz knocks something over on accident as she like tries to walk in quietly and not interrupt anything.
And with a clatter and a clang, the chanting and singing of the priestesses suddenly cuts off, and this uncomfortable silence fills the air as this pot that you happen to knock over just continues to roll and clatter down these sort of marble tiles.
She just stands there super like sheepishly, and if you could see blush through her fur, she'd be bright red. Excuse me.
The two Merrow right next to you definitely sort of raise arms, these huge sort of barbed tridents, sort of aim them towards you.
Your barbs look very pointy today. I was looking for Thassa or her temple. My friends got in a shouting match with a jellyfish and lost, and I need some help.
As you say this, the human that was stood on the centre of the plinth sort of slowly walks down towards you. And Skuttz, you would say that similar sort of bluish glow to his tattoos that you've seen in the plants and in the dinosaurs on the island that you were on previously.
eyes just get big.
As he steps towards you. It is unusual to see you. You sort of folk down here. You're here to pay some tribute and try and get these problems sorted.
I don't know. I don't really have a tribute. She starts wrestling in her shirt for something. Unsure if I should actually pull anything out because 100% that would make this situation worse. So, we're just browsing. He hears like rustling and large things falling over.
You don't need to get yourselves all worked up, friend. Just relax and go where the currents take you.
She just stares at him. That's what I'm already doing.
Which means the currents have swept you up and your friends and brought them to Thassa's footsteps. And what can we do to help you get back into your journeys?
Okay, question. Is Zholk still strapped on me?
I'd imagine so. He wouldn't have
Okay,
been able
we've
to
never-
get himself loose.
Next question is, can I tell if there's anything actually wrong with him? Like, do I believe Nadryn that this is better?
It just moves up next year. Make a medicine check.
Yeah, he seems
You,
right.
you
Alright, so-
definitely can tell something's wrong, but you can't place it. Other than he's very clearly deaf like everybody else and paralyzed. Everything else you can't really quite tell.
My friend here shouted at a jellyfish, and I think he's paralyzed, and now my other friends can't hear.
Well, that is a problem. Can't imagine life without being able to hear the crashing of the ocean waves, the songs of all the creatures that fill these depths. Yeah, he turns away before taking this small conch shell that's filled with a very crystal clear liquid. Passes it to you, Skuttz.
She holds it very carefully, like you can tell she's nervous about dropping it. What's this?
Those that are sinking when they should be swimming. Have them take a sip. And see if they can't rise to the surface and just breathe it all in.
Does Skuttz get the metaphor?
Make an insight check. Kind of. You can tell it's a metaphor, but a metaphor for what you're not entirely sure.
She's just like, we don't want to float. We want to stay down here. She like turns around and she'll offer it out towards Nadryn.
Nadryn,
Just
you
give her a thumbs up.
would recognize the human that's talking as not a human, but an oceanid, a type of nymph, a sea nymph.
Okay. And obviously I can't hear, but I just saw that happen.
Yes.
So I You were offering it to me, weren't you?
Yes, very clearly. Like,
Okay.
extending it out to you with a thumbs up in the other hand, so...
I will take it, nod to the guy, and drink it.
Okay.
Well.
You take a sip of this perfectly clear water. It almost makes just everything inside you just feels still. Just any racing thoughts, even your heartbeat just feels like it just slows and calms. Just feel this weight lifted as slowly but surely your hearing comes back.
Okay. Once my hearing's back, and I can tell that it is coming back, I'll turn towards him. Thank you. And then I will go over to Zholk and I force him to drink some of it.
Okay, he's paralyzed, he can't exactly resist. Just hope he doesn't choke on it. As Zholk, you two feel this sort of sense of calm and gentleness as you are no longer deafened, no longer paralyzed. You're still feeble-minded, though.
So gentle, it's time for a nap.
And Bennett is deafened.
Bennett is deafened, yes.
So now that he's not paralyzed and deafened,
Slightly more useful.
we can still tell there's something wrong with him.
Make a medicine check.
That'd be better than a nat 1, right?
I think Skuttz would also double check.
Yeah, Skuttz can roll as well. Yeah, I think with that combined, you'd be able to click that Zolk's mind has been damaged by the Pale Screamer, that he has been feeble-minded.
Oh, it's like that time when he went swimming in that spooky river. Oh, good times. She just like slaps her knee,
is.
reminiscing.
Oh, you're right, it is. Shit. What do we do?
I don't remember how we fixed him. She just like pats him on the head again. But, she's gonna take him out and set him down since he's no longer paralyzed? Can he break dance again? That's the true test to see if he's still broken. Zholk, can you break dance?
Zolk, you can't understand language, so you have no idea what she's saying, only it's being said with enthusiasm.
It means bonk, right?
Okay, yeah, there's definitely something still messed up with him.
Yeah,
Yep,
you
that's
can't
definitely
understand language,
wrong.
which means you can't respond, so it's more of a slowly drooling, just with a big old smile.
Neil Part 2.
Neil has more intelligence now.
I want to go search in my shirt for that glowy rock I gave you last time, but I'm resisting the urge to pull out a crisis situation from my shirt.
You could always check your unusual bag.
That is true.
For one, you've not used it in a while, but also, let me actually have a quick look at it. Strange one, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, we'll just. It's definitely been longer than a day when I last used it.
Trying to see if it's got greater restoration, which it doesn't, but there is a bunch of other stuff in there that is very good.
Not gonna be a dragon, and that's the part that matters.
Not, yeah.
There we go. Here you go, buddy. She just hands him a stethoscope made out of mismatched body parts, and what? Oh, when pressed to a magic item, it casts Identify. It's perfect for you.
I mean, you can't cast spells or use
fun.
magic items at the moment,
but for later, and for now, it's something to play with. It's made out of neat little.
It stops working if you pull anything else out of the bag.
It's for now. He's got something to play with.
Okay, you've got a stethoscope made out of mismatched body parts, which I'll leave that to your imagination.
Understandable.
I will give Bennett the thing to drink as well, so he can get his hearing back too.
And then instantly looks unhappy as all of the screaming voices come back in his head. It's just like, what have you done?
Bennett, what? You look unhappy now. What happened?
Shakes his head, then turns away. Like, I don't want to talk about that.
Uh-oh. Note to self. This liquid made Bennett sad. She doesn't like it anymore. It was cool, and then it made Bennett sad.
Well, you have found some kind of divine healing at the temple. The Oceanid takes back the conch shell full of liquid, unless you're trying to steal it from him, which you're welcome to try.
I'll give it back.
Okay. Before turning and placing it back upon the plinth, which he returned. Unless you have more questions for this place of worship for Thassa.
I will say, so there is more wrong with this one. Do you have any idea how we can fix it? He's usually able to at least speak.
It seems something has just disrupted the flow of his mind. Just kind of stirred up the waters of knowledge in there. You can find a way to settle him down and get that magic back into alignment. Should hopefully help. If it was damaged by a screamer, it was trying to pull magic out of him. And that's probably thrown him off balance. So you need to find a way to rebalance that.
Oh, so we just have to put some magic back into him? She's gonna pull out the bottle of Nick's potion And she's gonna put a big old glug of it straight in his face.
Zolk, do you want to drink the glowy juice your friend is giving you?
Additional addictions are fine.
Okie dokie. Let's have next. Make a Constitution saving throw, please, Zolk.
Supposed to be good at these.
That is a success. You do not get addicted to Nectar of Nyx, as this sweet, glowing, like cerulean coloured drink, tasting of sugars and plums, fills you with this sort of surge of magic. Give me a wisdom saving throw. I don't know why you've got a -5 to wisdom.
I thought Feeble Mind was
It's intelligence and
a 1 in
charisma.
Wisdom Intelligence. Oh, I thought it was Wisdom Intelligence.
No, it's intelligence, charisma.
Right, fix that.
Well, you have this surge of magic through you, but it doesn't quite reconnect all the wires. I'll let you raise your intelligence and charisma to 5. So you are able to understand language now, but not very well. You've essentially gone from baby mind to toddler mind. Well, more young child rather than toddler, not that young. It almost worked. It worked in part.
Let's check if he's fixed. Zholk, can you break dance? And she just looks at him like desperate for this to have worked.
God.
So make a performance check if you would like to breakdance.
Oh, that comes into charisma. Yeah, so those are at 5, was it?
Those are at 5, yeah.
Alright.
That's not bad for -3. It's nowhere near as high quality dancing as you usually see from Zolk, but he hasn't fallen flat on his face yet, which is impressive enough.
I don't think he's got the same moves, but he's moving. You're doing great, buddy. All right. She's trying to remember if this is how he's always been, because he's got just such sweet moves you can't really tell. Skuttz is just like stuck looking at this dude as he's sitting there glowing, and it just keeps catching her attention. So if nobody else has anything they want to do, she's definitely gonna ask him about it.
Go ahead.
Okay. Hey, I got a question for you, pal. You're awful glowy. She's gonna just kind of come up over towards the base of the stairs. What? How come you're glowing?
Because I have the waters of life and magic flowing through me.
Wow, just like the sky does?
I'm more here under the waves than over them. But magic is the lifeblood of all of Theros, from the land, the sea, even the underworld threads with a type of magic that flows through me and creatures like me.
Wow, Zholk can see regular blood, and I can see Theros's blood? She's like trying. That's so cool. Then if that's where the magic's blood is, where's the magic's heart at?
If you go and follow those currents, feel the way the waters surge across, find where they finally settle, where they just relax, flow, and rest. Those could be the equivalents of the organs, if you must have such a grisly metaphor for how magic and the creatures born from it rule and make themselves.
You, I'm trying to learn more about the Unibor and find my home. And well, also, I miss Granny, and I'm trying to find Granny's sister.
You're saying a lot of words that you think I have context to, and I do not.
Well, you're no help. Do you... She thinks for a moment. She thinks for another moment. I'm trying to think how to ask it. Like, do you know, like, where's the creepiest old lady in the ocean? Can you point me in that direction?
Oh. You don't want to find anything that could be defined as a creepy or an old lady this far down or even further. No, stay
yes,
with
I do.
the sun's warmth and the magic on the winds can keep your soul elevated. Go too far down, it's hard to get back up.
That's what you think. You just need strong enough muscles and you can get back up from anywhere.
I think he's got strong enough muscles as he is. Have you seen his artwork? Look at this guy.
I mean, I don't know. The only way to find out is to arm wrestle him.
Let me open his character sheet. Would you like to arm wrestle the Ocean Edge?
Do it. Do it.
I don't know. I bet if I can win an arm wrestle with you, that I could climb my way back up from anywhere. And then you have to tell me where the creepy old lady is. I'd like to arm wrestle him for the information, if he will allow it.
Make a persuasion check.
Oh god.
I don't quite get the way the cogs in your mind turn, the way the winds blow, but I can't help but be just intrigued. He steps forward and holds out a hand.
Muscles speak louder than words as she grasps his hand.
Make an athletics check.
Oh god. Oh.
Yeah, he wins. As you reach out, your arms exhausted from swimming for days on end, don't quite manage to keep up with this. Well, he's quite. I mean, he's toned, but he's definitely not as bulky as yourself. He's definitely got a lot more force behind it than you expected.
Oh. Your muscles are woven with the magic of Theros itself within your fibers. You're the most glorious muscular being I've ever seen. I think I rolled a natural one.
Yes,
You did.
roll a natural one.
Yeah. My hand hurts.
He like
She
says,
tries to hide, like,
your arms are hurting from swimming too long. You've literally gotten out of the pool and immediately tried to arm wrestle somebody.
yeah, you probably shouldn't try to arm wrestle someone who probably swims all the time and
There's
is
also
like
that. Joey.
made of magic. All right, defeated but impressed thoroughly. Skuttz will retreat back to her pals. Well, yeah, that was embarrassing. She's just gonna walk out. Oh wait, for if anybody else wants to do anything, but she's retreating in shame.
The ocean is just not sure what the hell's just happened. Definitely intrigued, definitely entertained, but with no clue as to the context of it.
I'm just gonna turn to him. This is normal.
That's
This is
fair.
completely normal.
If that's how your party flows through the currents, well, that is Thassa's blessings. So you just enjoy being chaotic. If that's how you go through life, that's a big old thumbs up from Thassa there. So, does anyone else want to do anything here in the temple now that at least your hearing is back and some capacity for movement and intelligence is back in Zholk?
Um, is Delrin anywhere around?
At a glance, you can't see her here.
Okay. Then I'm good.
I was going to say, it's up to you if you wanted to ask about her or whether or not you just want to leave it there. Otherwise, yeah, where else would you like to go? So you can head back to the market. There's the residential area, the branch area, the palace, and, well, the temple, which you're already at.
So what do you guys want to do then? What do you think we should do now?
Hey, Nadryn, do you have a granny?
No. My family lives here, though.
Let's go say hi. You guys saw what my bedroom looked like. I want to see what your room looks like.
Okay. I guess we're heading to my house.
Heading home. Okay. Well, if you leave the temple, swim on out back into the frigid cold of Olantin's depths. I think the only one that doesn't have cold resistance anymore, or that still doesn't have cold resistance, is Bennett. So I'd need a
We should have asked about
Constitution
that.
saving throw, please. Right, this will be half. Be 8 cold damage. Just going from a surprisingly warm and welcoming temple to the unforgiving cold of this deep in the ocean. And you swim on out over. There's not a great deal of settlements, like buildings, residential buildings in Olantin. Most of it is either taken by the temples, the palace itself, and a handful of like guard stations, and then it's just the places where the people that actively stay in Olantin live. And they do feel nostalgic and familiar to you, Nadryn, as you have swum over these districts time and time and time again, as you head for a small cluster of buildings that you would remember as your, for want of a better term, family estate, basically, where you would know that parents, siblings, friends, the like, would be able to take shelter while they're visiting.
Okay. I will just lead everyone forward then. Welcome to my home.
Skuttz just looks around in awe.
So, Nadryn, as you get closer to the main home, you can overhear two voices in the middle of a fairly heated discussion. Wouldn't call it an argument, but more talking with passion. You don't quite make out all of it, mainly because I don't want to try and voice act two people at the same time. But the gist essentially is something's happened, and they have two very different ways of wanting to deal with it, and it is very clearly the voices of Amanthe and Valdis. Mommy and Daddy. And to make the tokens clear, I decided that one was Amanthe, and this one is Valdez.
Okay.
The best I could do, the best I could find in Magic Art.
What is that one for this one?
I don't
I'm
know if
trying
I've
to
got the
recognise it.
full. Oh, if I can pop it larger if that helps. It's definitely an Ixalan one.
I can tell it's an Ixalan one for sure.
In fact, I think they both are.
The other one is Silver Adept Game Day promo. Rivals of Excellent.
I almost want to take story points away from you for knowing that.
I have like 4 of that card.
It's...
I was at that game day.
I thought I was bad.
You are bad.
Yeah, real life Zholk has been feeble-minded aside from magic law, or magic card art, and that's about it.
Just don't pull up any unicorns.
So, torn whether to give you story points or take story points away for that, though. God damn it.
Surely you should give because I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
They're her parents. She should know. I'm
Yeah.
arguing for the story points.
We'll see at the end of session wrap up.
That threw me off a little bit.
Not the only one.
Look, if it's merfolk and magic, I know what I'm talking about.
So yes, they seem to be having a quite intense discussion. You can try and make a perception check to get more details as to what they're saying. But the gist is, yeah, there's a disagreement that...
I will try.
Yeah.
I fail.
Yeah, essentially all you can really gather is that, yeah, as is fairly typical, I guess, with your own experiences with your parents, your mother's a lot more gung-ho about trying to solve something directly. Your dad less so, and much more patient.
I will try to sneak up on them
Okay.
and surprise them.
Would anyone else want to try and listen in for more details before this, or are you just having a sneaky swim?
I'm playing in the pool of the sea.
So what do you want me to roll to listen in?
Perception. The voices in your head are too loud. You've been so used to them being quiet that all of a sudden they're back, and it's like...
That's what it is. I was deaf for that long, and I was used to speaking at a
Yeah.
regular volume. That they were screaming and screaming and screaming. I couldn't hear them, and now I need to get used to whispering.
Is anyone else trying to listen in, or
You know what? Because Skuttz is the only one that wasn't like recently in a shouting match with a abyssal jellyfish. Sure.
I mean,
maybe
recently,
she will have
in game time. It was like the same sort of time.
That's fair. It happened to me one last
It was,
time.
yeah.
There we go. See?
Yeah, sure enough. You overhear the key phrases that the place where Veldis works, his forge has been overrun, overtaken, basically lost, been forced out of it. And that's the core of the argument of that Amanthe, Nadryn's mother, wants to immediately go and take it back. Veldis is a lot more patient and wants to try and do things a bit more diplomatically.
Okay. Oh wow, now Nadryn, your parents are really loud. She like rubs her ear. Your dad works at a forge though? That's pretty cool. She's just like caught on the fact that he makes stuff, and she thinks that's really neat. She doesn't know what the rest of it means. We should go say hi.
I'm just gonna go like, yeah, he made this for me. And I'm gonna like raise my trident a bit. Just like, he made this for me before I left.
Nadryn, that's so cool. Your dad must be awesome. She's just like super pumped. She's trying to take the cue to lower her voice though.
I'm gonna go and try and sneak up on them and surprise them.
Yeah.
Probably not gonna
Skuttz.
work, but I'm gonna try.
Skuttz will follow along and prepare like a small amount of things to throw like confetti. A couple of pieces of seaweed, some
Pull stuff out
small
the bag.
rocks.
That's what the emote's for.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what do we got? Some dice.
We've
we'll
got
throw those out there.
the magic
Here we go.
plant that makes drugs, or some dice.
Actually, no, I'm gonna keep that. Never mind. You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna pull that one out. One less for Granny and one more for me. I'm just gonna tuck that one into my bag.
Okay, let me go and take that off there.
So now
magic
Skuttz
blue
has
plant.
4 and Granny should have 3.
Yep.
As she clears her throat, we'll just dig around for 2 more. Oh no!
Okay.
Is it the same plant or a different one?
It's the same. I mean, no, there's 3 left
one
in
of
the
the other
bag.
ones?
This is no. There's 2 left in the bag if you want to take that one, or you can get the
Oh,
other thing
God.
out.
Oh god, I need to flip a coin. Do I take it or keep it? She's sweating. Odds Granny keeps it, even Skuttz pulls it out. Okay, she sticks it back in and leaves it for Granny. She's gonna stick with everything else she has. She keeps pulling out all the good stuff. No point in throwing this on the ground. As she like just follows behind Nadryn to go surprise her parents.
So, Nadryn, you're going to try and stealth up.
Mm-hmm.
Make a stealth check. Okay. You swim with the grace of somebody be able to navigate their childhood home blindfolded because of the amount of times you've been here, the amount of memories and experiences you have here, that it's second nature.
Okay. I am going to, as quietly as I can, just try and hide and move around, and then just jump up behind my mum.
So you're actively trying to startle.
Yes.
Okay.
Probably not the best person to do that to.
Make an intimidation check. I
Intimidation.
think that's the closest I can think of for surprise.
Why do I have such a high
Because
intimidation?
you've got a high charisma. So, you sneak on up, swimming eerily silently towards the inside of your house, managing to avoid even waking the sleeping, brightly coloured sea slug on the floor. As you manage to get behind a bit of furniture before leaping out towards the unsuspecting, your unsuspecting mother. What would you like to say to surprise? Just a
I'm
boo?
home! Surprise! I'm home!
She turns around with a fright, like a full-on, lets out a full yelp before the shock fades, and all tension from the argument just disappears as both of your parents rush in for that reuniting family hug. They welcome you home.
Hug them back. And then, I brought friends as well!
I assume this is where you'd hope everyone else would swim in.
Yes! Please!
Guts
People out of it,
is
just
going
so
to
it's
realize
nice.
the implication of throwing stuff and just kind of drop the pile of things she gathered before she joins everybody else. We're not gonna throw stuff next to your house.
Well, Scud specifically is not going to throw things. No calamities are going to happen.
I always forget about that.
You
Like, I want to throw it. And I'm like, oh God.
can throw it. Absolutely, you can throw it. So, Amathe, delighted at this turn of events, immediately goes over and cuddles Neil, because anyone bringing a pet home to their parents, that's the first thing that's going to happen. Before turning back to you, Nadryn, well, I wasn't expecting you home so soon. How are you okay? Is everything all right? Sort of fretting over you.
I got what was asked of me. I have yet to take it to the temple or to the palace or anything. We had to make a stop off to undeafen ourselves. And I came here as soon as I could.
Clearly, she almost starts tearing up. I am blessed that you have been safe and so successful on your journeys, and to have all of these dry folk that are willing to follow you this far under the sea. You must have really made some strong bonds with them, some close friends, and that is That is such a delight.
Well, you've already met Neil here.
Oh, I doubt
He
you even
is-
like let him go at all, even when turning back to you. Still just pets and cuddles.
He is a very, very good boy.
Oh, indeed he is.
This is Skuttz.
Hi. Nice to meet you. I found you make stuff. I think that's really neat. My granny makes stuff too.
I don't make stuff. Velders is the more creative of us. Although he needs to get off his ass. Sorry.
What? You made Nadryn. That's the best thing of all.
I like this one.
And this is Bennett.
Since this is Nadryn's parents, Bennett's very forward and holds his hand out to shake the hand and is like, "Hi, I'm Bennett."
Amarthe, thank you for taking such care of my daughter on your travels. I hope she didn't put you too far out.
Oh, not at all. She looks after herself. She's very capable.
This is Zholk. He's not quite himself at the moment.
Zolk is currently eating a seashell.
Aha. So I assume Neil is someone you've adopted.
Yes.
I assume this Zolk is someone's adopted too.
Nope. No.
Oh dear. That
He's
poor
Just
creature.
like that sometimes.
He's normally a bit more capable than this.
You screamed too loud at a jellyfish.
Twice.
Nadryn, did you let your friend go to the markets and into the shop we tell you not to go into?
I didn't know what it was said. We might have all gone in there.
She whistles as this incredibly coloured sea slug. Let me just put it in. Sort of wakes up from its sleeping pattern on the floor and sort of drifts over to Zolk before just sort of settling down just somewhere on his body and starting to just gently pulse with colour. Archie'll take care of him, just may take him a moment.
Thank you. Thank you for fixing him, hopefully.
Zolk, are you doing anything as this sea slug seems to sit on your body and pulsate?
He's too involved in the seashells.
Okay. Uh, uh,
Can I use a charge of my paints?
You can do, yes.
I would like to paint him a tiny top hat and monocle because he looks so fancy with that little mustache. It would be perfect.
You can
Aw,
do.
there you go, little fella. As it's just pulsating on Zolk.
Zolk. Okay, give me an Arcana check.
Oh god.
Yeah, this thing sits and pulses on you, and you definitely feel woozy. Almost a bit dizzy.
Hmm.
Are you just going to continue and chew on seashells?
You know what? Yes.
Okay. Give me another Arcana check. Okay. You realize as you get a particularly succulent crunch from one of your shells, this thing is eating some of the magic within you, and that's what's causing you to feel woozy. I am going to. Let me have a quick look. I'm going to take away your ability to cast Incendiary Cloud, but also take away Feeble Mind, so you gained your intelligence and charisma back.
Read.
As Archie, the Arcanophage, has literally sucked the dumb right out of you, as Deathlight says, before going back to sleep.
Well, it's gotta go somewhere. That thing's gonna be dumb shit soon.
At least he's fancy
It's
now.
more like it's going to take a dumb shit soon. Because it, like I said, it literally eats magic. It feeds on magic.
Fair
It may have
enough.
been dumb magic in you, but it's ingesting it. It is doing its job. There you go. You are no longer feeble-minded. What would you like to do with your newly returned intelligence?
Zolk, can you break dance? I need to know.
God's sake.
Give me a
This
performance
is her
check.
gauge on. That's her baseline.
There it is.
You guys! Oh, Archie, you're the best!
Oh, perfectly timed.
Is this the metric?
Yes.
Zholk breaks it down.
Yeah, go Zolk. Oh, thank you so much.
It's
just not the same.
As much as the screamer can be useful, it doesn't have the most self-control. This is why I try and advise people to stay away from him. As much as that power can be tempting, well, you saw what happened to your friend there.
Yeah, he was definitely the only one who screamed at the jellyfish.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Totally reasonable.
Well, if even without the effects of the screamer in his mind, he would enter that shop. You need to keep a closer eye on your friends. If I understand that everyone else is a lot more sensible, but it seems you have taken responsibility for this creature.
He just wanders off sometimes. It's really hard to track him.
That definitely reminds me of someone I raised.
Definitely Delrin. Definitely Delrin.
Well, you must be exhausted from travelling so far. Why don't you stay here for the night? Why don't you regale us with some of the stories of your adventures? And maybe in the morning you can help your father get back to work. He shoots a bit of an evil glare at him before returning to you with a smile.
Oh, do you need help with something?
Well, it seems that my husband's crafting abilities are well known in O'Lantern. Forges and places to mould metals this far under the water are few and far between. It seems a rival has decided to stake a claim on his workshop. I told you not to trust Luska. He was chased out and has refused to go back. I've said I will gather the city guard and try and reclaim what is ours, but he refuses, says it's a waste of the city's resources.
Well, we're not part of the city's resources.
I wouldn't want you risking you and your friends' lives just because your old man has lost part of his own spine.
What? You lost part of your spine? Do we need to go find that too? Look, we'll just focus on the forge. We'll deal with the spine later.
It's a metaphor, dearie. Don't worry.
I don't. Why wouldn't you just say the thing?
It's called passive aggression, dear. You'll learn when you're older.
Oh. I'm just passion aggressive. As she starts to look like she's gonna go into a rage, and then realizes she's in a building and tries to she just takes a deep breath and decides to not show off and destroy Nadryn's parents' house. It will be a good uniform.
Definitely not explode.
Definitely not explode. But I will save my rage for the forge. What do you say, guys? We gotta help Nadryn's dad. He's gotta make more cool giant forks. What's it called? A javelin? Nadryn, what's it called? She nudges you.
Trident!
Bident! He makes the best Bident I've ever seen. And I bet I'd see more Bidents if he could make more. So let's get that forge back. I am not an inspiring leader. Oh, did my performance inspire anyone?
Yes.
Oh.
I need to remember this particular speech when we do our end of session wrap up, because I think inspiring leader is accurate for a epithet / feat for that one. As there is a feat called inspiring leader that's exactly that.
Got her.
Should we take a rest first, because I am very much out of spell slots. I can't cast any more spells today.
How did you manage to get out of spells? It must have been an exhausting journey to get here.
Yes, exactly.
She keeps having to cast bubbles on me so I can breathe under the water. And our friends.
I did raise you to
So
be that
exhausting.
generous.
Skuttz isn't even trying to lie either. She totally forgot about the jellyfish thing. She just knows Nadryn keeps using spells to cast the bubble on her.
Gotta make them able to breathe down here.
Well, welcome to use any of the guest rooms to rest up. We've got plenty of food. And in the morning, you can head to your old dad's workshop and stay safe.
Yep. I am going to head off to whichever place was my bedroom.
I'll let you beg.
Uh,
They're all much for muchness, really.
I'll go for this one. Where is Zholk going?
I'm gonna dig a hole to sleep in.
Are you leaving Mr. Burbles outside?
Can Mr. Burbles come in? Nadryn, do you mind if Mr. Burbles comes in?
He can't exactly set fire to things down here.
I was going to say, at least you can't set fire to the house.
All right, Mr. Burbles, mind your manners. He'll curl up in the corner and just kind of nap.
I get the feeling that Neil is going to have been kidnapped for a bit.
Yes. Neil has to pay his taxes in parent cuddles. There is a toll to staying here, and it's letting your parents cuddle your dog.
Standard practice. Now, just a small question. Does the screaming jellyfish thing sleep?
Oh my god.
You're not entirely sure.
I mean, casting Dream on it's free anyway.
Okay, it does not sleep now.
Bugger. There's 2 in a row that I fucked.
Yeah.
We'll learn somehow.
Yeah, you can have a long rest, restore any lost hit points, any used abilities, and of course, lost spell slots. There's also a chance to change around any epithets including the party epithet if you want to swap out from good dudes now that it's on cooldown. Because you actually remember to use it. I'm well impressed.
So proud of us.
We could equip the new one.
Do we want to equip the new one?
I
May as
mean,
well.
all 4 of the ones that you've got are really good.
Let's go for the... I think we should go for the new one.
Gonna change the party's name from good dudes to divine gamblers.
I don't want to change the party's name,
Aw.
though. We're good dudes.
I kind of feel the same way.
You'd still be known as the good dudes, I guess, but
We've been the good dudes for so long.
you can always go back to being the good dudes. Just while it's on cooldown, you irreverent gamblers that keep trying to get yourselves feeble-minded to learn more spells that you can't cast.
Only some of us can't cast them.
So yeah, but some of you are trying to learn spells, but you only have access to either level 1 or at most level 5 slots.
Don't worry about it.
Forgot I had Thief of Men and Monsters on. What
Oh,
did the guy? What did the shopkeep count as?
he would have been an elemental. So yeah, you would have
Gain
had
resistance to the damage type.
Yeah, cold damage, which you already have because of the ring.
From the ring I bartered for him to get in there.
Yeah.
Doubled up. All right.
Would we lose the bonus HP from the hero's feat?
Yes.
Okay. Back down to 48 I go.
That's only a little bit lower than me.
Yeah, but your hit dice is a D6 when his is a D8.
Oh, you should be higher
You
than
should
me.
be a lot higher than you.
I roll for HP every time.
So do I. I got a 2 last time.
So this is why I think Divine Gamblers is a suitable party name.
It's suitable. But we've been good dudes for so long.
Well, I just
You could be the
I just
gambling
put on-
dudes.
Look, I just put on my epithet for who failed successfully.
Oh, okay.
So I'm not against switching out to the game. I changed my mind. I'm up for switching to the group thing if we want to do that because I'm down to. Oh God. Let's see if I can break that.
Yeah. I'm okay for changing, but I don't want us to change our party name.
Yeah, I want to still be known as the good dudes.
Yeah.
I'm down with
That's fine.
We have to always be the good dudes, but like...
So you are the good dudes who divinely gamble. It's an epithet. It's supposed to go at the end or the beginning of your name rather than your name itself.
Oh my God. The longer we play the game, the longer our title
You have
gets.
an entire paragraph that's just the party name.
All right.
So,
Okay,
is there anything else you want to do during your long rest? Any other things you want to sort out?
Aw. I read the gauntlets and it doesn't work the way I want it to.
I mean, they work pretty damn well.
Yeah, but I have an epithet that can increase my strength by 1, but that doesn't work.
No, it doesn't stack with it. It just sets it to 19. It's
Okay.
whether or not you want to keep those strong gloves, or whether or not someone else may use strong gloves more. But then again, it would have helped you bonk stuff while brain dead. But then again, no, it wouldn't, because it's a magic item. You wouldn't be able to use it.
Oh. This is fine.
Okay, so you have yourself as best asleep as you can. It's hard to tell time, at least for those that have lived on the surface their entire lives this far down, because not a great deal of light comes down from the surface. The majority of the way that you can tell is more of the sort of the patterns of types of fish that swim around, the nature of the currents, and the flow of the tide, based on the motions of Theros. And yes, the morning arrives. Rested. New epithets chosen. Abilities restored. Zholk, it is a new day if you want to roll for your face.
Oh yeah.
At least I remember these things.
What was I even roll? Where is it?
I believe it's D8 plus 1.
2d4 plus 2.
2d4 plus 2. Ooh. Big numbers. It can't go over 13.
No.
Morning arrives. You have some homemade breakfast cooked by Nadryn's dad. Eat. Don't need to worry about rations. What would you like to do?
Well, now we've rested, and should we go and try and deal with this thing for my dad?
Yeah, let's get his forge back so he can make his javelins, double javelin bidents. We can get the bidents.
The
Right.
bi-javelins. The travellings.
Zholk will
The
love it so
javelins.
much.
Maybe we can get Zholk some fancy javelins as well.
He did get a javelin of lightning in the last session.
We can get more fancy javelins. Than
Oh,
just
there are
one.
definitely other types of fancy javelins.
You can never have enough fancy javelins.
Let's just say that the party's odd obsession with javelins over this campaign has caused me to need to think of other types of javelin to add in.
Oh, it has been a weird obsession.
Yeah.
Why is it javelins we picked to have an obsession over?
I don't know why javelins, out of all of the weapons and items available in Theros, was what clicked as the party currency. But that's so be it.
Who are we to change it?
Such is the nature of story in Theros. The javelin epithet.
Is there anything we need to do before we head out?
Maybe we should find out more information on what happened.
Yeah, because if I want to catch an animal to eat it, the more I know about the animal, the easier it is for me to catch it for lunch. Go find out about these rabbits. As she goes back to go talk to I don't know. She's gonna go back in to talk to her parents or her dad.
So you find Valdez, which is Nadryn's dad, going through and cleaning some of his usual work tools, just sort of making sure they're in the exact place they should be, in the exactly maintained way they should be.
Like the way you polish your spears. They look very shiny. Is there anything you know about these jerks that are taking over the forge?
I wouldn't call them jerks. Opportunists, more like. They struck while the iron was hot, and, well, I got burned. I had a supplier for some of the materials I use. An Ichthys. Name of Luska. I thought it was a reasonable person. We kept profits at an equal understanding, and the supplies that he gave me were of a quality I would have expected. And then things got heated. And he brought some thugs with him. Not ordinary, just merfolk with a bad attitude. This small frog-like creature, and they brought with them a gang of sea spawn. I don't know what vile magics they used, or why Luska threw his lot in with them. Don't think we need to be rash or hasty here. This seems out of character for Luska. I think, well, we need to know more before we act, rather than what my wife would suggest, which is to go kick the door in and take it back by force. But would that not make us the same as him? Demanding everything just by flexing muscles?
Bennett's always super sneaky. Maybe Bennett can help us find out more info. What do you think we should do? Cause I'm honestly with your wife. I think we should just bust down the door and throw them out. They weren't nice.
This is clearly a personal matter. This is clearly Luska feeling power go to his head. And I don't think the resources of the city guard or of wayfaring adventurers like yourselves should be spent on something so trivial, personal.
Buddy, we do way more trivial stuff all the time. I feel like I finally have a purpose. I want to help somebody. Not just break stuff because it's breakable.
just whatever creature Lusk has made this deal with to take over the forge, don't underestimate them. And try not to kill Lusker. He may have misstepped here doing this, but he knows his way around a forge, and that is a skill few and far between this far down.
Would Skuttz be able to connect the dots between this mysterious force coming in and it maybe being the same thing she's looking for?
Go ahead and give me an insight check.
How many jerks are down here in the sea? We're not great at this.
100%. Whatever this creature Lusk made a deal with is the person you're looking for, guaranteed.
He's gotta be making.
There can only be one shady person under the sea, and it has to be Granny's sister.
Okay. Alright. I bet it's that creepy old lady. We gotta go. We gotta go find this guy. He might be able to lead me to Granny's sister. Definitely. Does anybody else want to do anything before we head out? Or is Skuttz gonna rally the party out?
I will go over to my dad and we'll figure out what's going on and try and get you the forge back.
I am ashamed that my own daughter is having to step in and solve my problems. Just don't be hasty and don't get yourself hurt.
That's very tall ask on both parts. Maybe.
No promises.
We'll see what happens.
I'll see what I can do.
Literally just getting told, take care of yourself and don't hurt yourself. No.
Oh, you should see her. She's so cool. And she like goes like zap, zap, and she gets stuff. And then when I'm like, and I get all big, she's like, and she like zaps me and I get even bigger. And then she can hide behind me while I crush everything. She's just like motioning all this out with her hands and everything.
He's looking pretty wide-eyed and sort of, I don't want to hear this, I don't want to hear this, I don't want to hear this, I don't want to hear
Yeah, Skuttz is gonna pack up Mr. Burbles and wait outside for anybody else.
Okay, is there anything else anyone wants to do before heading forgewards? Alright, well, we'll get you moved over. So, you set off swimming just outside of Olantin and find a big old crack in the seafloor. Seems to be a vent, sort of probably about 30 to 60 seconds, this sort of wave of heated water just sort of shoots through this crevice in the ground.
It's getting warmer. We must be getting closer to the forge. Skuttz will move up behind this rock to try to see if she can take a peek.
Let me see how far you can see. You can just about make out the shapes of wiggling pincers around the edge of this crevice, where there seems to be something or a multitude of pincery creatures clicking and clacking away. Crabs. There's crabs on the crevice.
I'll shuffle over to
Mr. Burbles is licking his lips, remembering the crab meat from before.
hazard a guess. I can see further than Skuttz.
You most certainly can, yes. You have got enhanced dark vision, or whatever the right term is, for being an underground creature. But you also struggle in sunlight that I always forget about.
Yeah.
Again, you don't tend to fight in direct sunlight all that often.
Not anymore. I suppose I'll give warning of big crab.
Big crabs.
Maybe two.
They're not the biggest crabs. They're not the size of the hulking crabs that you saw at the ranch. In fact, they're even smaller than the shoreline scrapper, the magnetic crab that shell exploded on the gas boat that the Oni stole. But you do see numerous of the water scorpions that you ate the previous day with Zholk. And a number of smaller crabs just sort of... They seem to be trying to pluck stuff out of the water every time there is a vent of warm water coming through. Filter feeding, essentially.
I'm going to preemptively make my gastrophes just in case.
I'm trying to wonder how well that would work underwater.
It's a demon thing.
Well, it depends if... Does it work like an actual gastrophetes, where it's a belly bow, where you actually have to use it like a crossbow, or is it just zap, bleh?
Just a magical cannon.
Okay, so it's just your Eldritch cannon. Then yeah, it's just it'll work normally. I thought you actually had a gastrophetes, the actual bow.
Oh no, not yet.
Oh, I thought you used yet. This is appreciated.
I can't poison the ammunition on my Eldritch cannon.
So you crowd around this rock, around the this vent of pulsing warm water. Nadryn, yeah, as you probably visited your dad's forge before, you know this is the entrance to it.
Okay. Well, the entrance is that way. There we go.
So who wants to risk the crabs?
How are we gonna handle this? He said we shouldn't just go in there and just beat the crap out of it, but I don't know what else to do. I have a stick and I use it.
Shall I try sneaking ahead and see if I can find out anything? I mean, I don't know how far everybody can see. I can't see that.
Yeah, Bennett. You're like sneakier than Pogeg.
I don't actually think. I think Pogeg may be sneakier.
No, he is. That's the joke.
I mean, it's close, but
They're both very sneaky.
it's pretty ridiculous.
I think I'm going in the right direction there.
Yeah, you're essentially at the bottom of this crevice. Let me actually see how far you can see. Yeah, so at the bottom of this sort of crevice here is where the forge is. It seems to just be that there has been a large gathering of filter feeders at its mouth.
Do I know if they're dangerous or not?
They're big. They've got pinchy claws. They seem to be entirely focused on eating. So if they feel like they are being the beasts, if they felt like they're being threatened, they will be a threat. If they aren't feeling threatened, they probably won't be much of a threat. They're also delicious because these are the water scorpions that were part of the heroes feast that you had yesterday. So
I'd like a bit of cannibalism to get you going.
Got a hammer in my. Oh, we're underwater, aren't we? It's going to affect throwing
yes.
distance, I would imagine.
If it's thrown like a javelin, trident, spear, anything like that, it doesn't affect how it's thrown. But anything that's thrown like a dagger, or like I say, like a hammer or stuff like that, it does get affected.
Yeah. What I want to do is move here.
Yeah, give me another stealth. You continue swimming around. They don't seem to be paying that much attention to you at all, if they've even noticed you at all.
Right then, because I might be imparting a bit of player knowledge onto my character here, so I basically want to hammer on this rock. A loud noise because sound travels faster through water.
I mean, you've been underwater for a while. I imagine you've had enough experience to hear underwater, so I wouldn't really call that
Yeah,
putting
that's cool.
player knowledge.
So what do you want me to roll to
Okay, so you're gonna
make a loud bang on that rock?
give me an intimidation check. Okay, you make a loud bang on the rock.
The rock is not scared.
The rock does not care. The crabs definitely start to skitter and scurry away, though. The larger sea scorpions, however, don't care at all. But they will have dived under the sand, just hiding away. It worked. Got rid of some of them. The giant water scorpions. Lasso.
They might just not care, so long as you don't bother them.
Side note, I was reading my character sheet and apparently I can cure deafness.
Well, that would have been useful.
I was just about to quote Adam Sandler and say that information would have been useful yesterday.
If, who would have thought if you actually read your character sheet, you'd learn the abilities you actually have? They
It's
might
prepared
actually
and
be useful.
everything.
You have it prepared as well.
Yeah, lesser restoration, I think.
Yep.
Right? It means that when you go back to the screamer, you can keep curing the first one. So save on a few saves while someone else goes and tries to gain more spells.
So, are we jumping into the crevice? Is that the plan
That's
here?
the destination. There's just at least 2 sea scorpions hovering around the top of it.
Then it was doing a bit of
He was playing the drums.
scouting.
Well, I'm not opposed to being the test to see if they care.
Do your thing, little buddy.
Right, the Cloak of the Manta Ray gives me a swim speed, right?
Yep. Of 60
What was
feet.
it? Oh god. Ignore the radius. I need it on there at all times. Into the hole.
So, are you just going at full speed, just trying to get into the hole?
It'd be casual to not try and alert them or anything. Like, not stealthy, but not rushing.
You just don't want to alarm them.
Yeah.
Well, they definitely then notice you. They move closer, but they're not like rushing into it. They're curious. Not used to something so big and edible nearby.
Well, I'll salute and go down.
Okay. I am not splitting the party to try and flip between 2 maps, so I'll let you know
Or
what
I'll
you
jump
see
in.
down there after someone else does something else up here. Okay. I need to remember something.
Can you talk with them?
So, Nadryn, as you, oh, that's the wrong one. As you swim in closer, the scorpions move towards you and seem almost affectionate, as they are charmed by your blessed by the deep epithet.
Okay. So.
I'm glad
where
I
is that?
remembered that.
Deep.
It's your divine epithet. It's
Yeah.
that one. If it's got a swim speed and an intelligence score of 2 or less, if they're within 15 feet of you, they're charmed, unless you're harmful towards them.
Okay. So I am gonna stay here. Everyone else, go on in. I'll keep these calm.
Okay. So, does anyone else filter on into the crevice? Every so often there is this sort of updraft of very, well, I wouldn't say very warm water. It's definitely a lot warmer than the water around you. It's not going to cause fire damage.
Do I recover hit points for the warmth.
I mean, you should be at full hit points for having the rest. So, yeah.
Cool. No, that's fine.
Right, so they dive down. Nadryn, I assume you just follow in as soon as they're all at the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah, the scorpions just head back to their feeding positions and continue to just pick out scraps that float up from the rift. To the next bit. Down at the bottom. This underwater cave filled with corals, sponges, glowing fauna, as you feel this sort of ebb and flow of a current pushing from further in. I will put a pause there for today, as we're about the time where we'd usually be wrapping up, and I think exploring the forge will be a fun thing to do for next week. So let's do our end of session stuff. So piety points. Everyone gets a point of piety for playing. Did you complete your minor agendas? Let's have a look at everyone's minor agenda. That is a no for Zholk. That is a no for Bennett. I'm going to say yes for Skuttz. And I'm going to say yes for Nadryn. Perform a ritual, sacrifice, or great action in the name of your god. I will give a point to Nadryn for that one, for taking everyone to the temple when you were deaf and paralysed and feeble-minded, and asked Thassa for help, in which, well, a Thassa-adjacent character helped. Did you act in a way that exemplifies the ideals of your patron gods? I'll give a point to everybody on this one. I think everybody acted in the way that their god would expect from them. I did like Bennett's awkwardness around Nadryn's parents, considering he is an assassin with the faces of all of his kills on his body. It's like, yes, I am a normal person. Hello.
Blend in.
Blending in. Story points. You get a point of story for playing. Did you overcome a great challenge using violent or non-violent means? I'm going to say no. Did you make a significant discovery or unearth some lost history? I'll give everybody a point for that one, as you learned some more about the magic of Theros and learnt more about Nadryn and her family, and on your way to helping them get their family livelihood back, or one of their family livelihoods back. Did you perform an act worthy of a new epithet? I know I'm giving a point to Skuttz on this one for the inspirational leader, for that amazing speech that raised everybody's spirits.
Chaos, but with a purpose.
Did anyone else feel like they did something that stood out?
Nadryn did the super stealthy sneak and then also rolled pretty high on that scare.
The parental surprising. Okay. Underwater sneak. I'm going to just put that for now. What I need to give for Nadryn is the point for identifying the card art of just the headshot of the
Oh my
token
God,
I
yes,
use for a
that's right.
parent. Just a Merfolk Master. There we go.
Did you ever figure out the second one?
I didn't. I can't. I don't know what it is.
I'll give you a hint. He does brainstorm.
It's brainstorm.
Draw 3, put 2 back.
I don't even know who it is, and I'm the one using the goddamn card art.
Draw too bad.
I'm also going to give a point for Zholk for getting that perfectly timed natural 20 on his breakdance.
Yeah, I wrote the card off as completely worthless. That might help you.
You do that with every card that I like.
Fair point. Here you go.
Revel.
Also, there are very few female merfolk card arts, which is why I've had to use 2 male ones for the family. But close enough. So yes, Zolk gets his point for his well-timed natural 20. Okay. Loyalty points for Mr. Burbles and Neil. I think again it'll be just the 1 point for playing today, as neither of the companions really got a lot of big action moments. So there's no fighting together, no sacrificing for the good for them, and performing any incredible actions.
He got some loves on him.
He did get some good boy attentions, which is what he deserved. So, with that, we'll wrap it up for today, and hopefully we'll have everybody back for next week. Thanks everyone for playing. This one was an interesting enough one, as always struggle doing player backstory ones because you never know how far to go with it. Thanks everyone for watching along at home, whether you've watched live at Skuttz or whether you've watched the VODs on the Satyr Atlas YouTube channel. I'll leave the rest of the wrap up to you.
All right, there we go. I just put the links there in chat. If you want to catch Go Lives, follow my Twitter. And yeah, we'll be back next week for more D&D. I'm almost done settling in from the move, so we'll be back to regular other shenanigans soon. Thank you so much for hanging out, lurking. We appreciate it. And yeah, thank you so much. Have a good one. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Hi.
Yes.